evening, morning, afternoon, whatever the case might be. Coffee to you. I'm going to need that. I'm going to run out on some pretty thin ice here. I have something I need to say. Not because I'm looking forward to it, but because it needs to be said. I'm tired of hearing the hero language. And here's what I mean. If you're a doctor or a nurse, a CNA, a grocery store clerk, cop, paramedic, an EMT, gas station attendant, I don't care who you are, if you've been labeled essential and you're working, you're not a hero. You are not a hero. Here's what I mean. You're working. It's your job. It's what you get paid to do. Heroism isn't this going to work every day and drawing a paycheck. Heroism is facing down this insurmountable, massively daunting, life-threatening reality and being willing to do it in the face of fear, no matter what. Now, do I take away from the fact that you might be working in a hazardous environment? Not at all. You might be, but you're not a hero. Working in a grocery store during COVID-19 doesn't make you a hero. Putting a mask on and getting in your cruiser and driving around and writing people speeding tickets or arresting true criminals doesn't make you a hero. Putting a mask on and jumping in an ambulance and running to a call because someone's in the middle of a cardiac arrest doesn't make you a hero. Makes you vitally important. I'm not going to argue that, but it doesn't make you a hero. And here's what we need to think about. This hero language, this is straight out of the Communist Handbook. This is straight out of the Bolshevik Revolution kind of talk. We make people heroes because we want the common people to feel important. And I don't really think that there's any such thing as a common person. Every individual is vitally important to the country, to the culture, to the society, to the functioning of this constitutional republic. Now, there are times when people aren't contributing, but that doesn't make them any less important. And there are several places I can draw from to say that, both from a philosophical and a religious Christian perspective. I can talk about the importance of every individual, but you're not a hero. And so the sad thing is that we've allowed our government, our elected servants, who serve us according to our consent, because that's what the Constitution dictates. We've allowed these elected servants, our slaves, that's what they are. If you want to use strong terminology, these people who run for office do so in a form of indentured servitude to us. We send them there to represent us in our best interest. Now, those best interests can vary from person to person, but what we've allowed them to do is we've allowed them to label people essential and non-essential. And as I've said in many places and in many ways, the truth of the matter is, essential personnel now, and essential employees now, that's code word, that's a newspeak, straight out of 1984. All it means is you're expendable, you're disposable, but you're not a hero. And don't let the signs and the flag waving and the hooting and the hollering from the high-rises in New York City and the flyovers from the military aircraft and all of that. Don't let them fool you. That doesn't make you a hero. That makes you a normal, everyday citizen who has a responsibility to go out and work for your family and for the good of other people, but that doesn't make you a hero. When everybody around you is doing the same thing that you're doing, you're not all heroes. You're not heroes. Heroism is the cop who runs in to a burning building with no gear, with no guarantee that he's going to come out alive, and yet attempts or actually rescues the little kids or the little old lady or even the family pet at great personal risk and massive expense to himself. A hero isn't a nurse or a doctor going into the emergency room with a mask on and seeing somebody who has a fever. A hero is a nurse or a doctor who, while on vacation, is confronted with a shooting victim in the middle of a hail of bullets. And what do? They still render aid in the face of death. That's a hero. But what we're hearing now is that all the essential workers, the expendable people, the disposable people, they're heroes because they're essential. No. That's classism, is what it is. And it's a tool to separate us and drive us, and it pulls at our heartstrings, and it drags us down into this muck and this mire of looking at people based on what value they have to society, on what they can contribute to society. And then Big Brother, the commissars, the political elite can then look at us and say, look at these heroes that we provide for you. No, they're not heroes. We're not comrades. We're American citizens, and we all have a job to do. Me going to work every day doesn't make me a hero to my family. You going and getting your paycheck every day doesn't make you a hero to your family. You want to know who the real heroes are? You want to know who the real patriots are? It's the people that are standing up in the face of massive constitutional abuse. The real heroes are the cops who are saying, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not arresting the mom in the park anymore. You want to know who the real heroes are? The real heroes are governors like the governor of South Dakota, who looked at her people and said, I trust you in the face of all of this to take care of yourselves, because I'm not treading on your constitutional rights. There's heroes out there. A sheriff in Wisconsin who said, we're not going to enforce any of the unconstitutional edicts given by the governor of Wisconsin. Another hero would be the group of sheriffs in Michigan who have stood up to the governor of Michigan and said, no, we're not doing this anymore. There's a lot at stake for them. Another hero would be the pastors in the church in Greenville, Mississippi, who stood up to the mayor of Greenville and said, no, we're going to go ahead and we're going to hold service in our cars. We're going to be safe, but we're going to hold service in our cars. People are going to gather for worship. Now, as a Christian, I don't see heroism in that, but as a patriot, as a citizen, that's heroism. We have to stop with the hero language for everybody who's merely doing the job that they've been hired to do. That's what they're doing. They're doing their job. That doesn't make them a hero. A hero is a person who, in the course of doing their job, right now, stands up to tyranny and says, enough's enough. I'm not doing this anymore. That takes spine. And it may not necessarily mean a loss of their life, but it could mean the loss of everything that they have. We have to stop falling for the hero language. We have to stop following for this new speak that's out there. We have to stop waving the flag as the very thing that the flag stands for is ripped from us. Just think about that. They've got all these people out there sheltering in their homes, terrified to come out, terrified to leave without putting a mask on, terrified to be near their neighbors, terrified to do anything, yet they're waving their flags and they're talking down to and looking down on anybody who is standing up against the status quo right now, anybody who's not towing the line, and they're looking at those people and they're saying, you're a danger to society. No, those are the people that are heroes. You sitting in your home, you're not a hero. You're not a hero for cowering in fear because the government tells you to. You're not a hero for doing your job. You're a hero for standing up for what's right. You're a hero when you recognize that there's a balance to be had in this, and you're not going to go to the extremes anymore. So, if you're a person in a position that's essential, expendable, let's remember that. If you're one of those people, you want to be a hero, stand up for what's right. Stand up for the Constitution. Stand up for what made this country great. Don't label yourself a hero, and don't expect everybody else to consider you a hero or to call you one. When I walk into your grocery store, when I see you in the gas station, when I see you in the pharmacy, when I see you in the doctor's office or at the hospital, when I see you in your squad car, when I see you on patrol, when I see you responding to a call to save the life of a person who's having a cardiac arrest, I'm going to thank you for the job that you do, and I'm going to thank you for taking the time to do it. But I'm not going to label you a hero for that. And I don't want to be labeled a hero either. You're not heroes. You're important, just like every other person is. And we're all essential. And we're all American citizens. And it's time we stop speaking like we're part of the Soviet Union. You're not a hero until you do something heroic. And what's happening now isn't heroism. As always, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for being open-minded. Thanks for listening. I would ask that over here in the corner, somewhere on your screen, you hit the subscribe button. It's important, not for me, but because mainstream media, legacy media, isn't going to get the word out. They're not going to let people who don't toe the established line speak. So for the sake of liberty and for the sake of the defense of this nation, small little independent voices like mine need to be heard, especially the interviews. It's got very little to do with my commentary and a lot more to do with the interviews and the people who are affected when liberties are tread on. So once again, hit the subscribe button, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much.